Hello everyone, this is Satish again. Welcome to session 2. This session is all about Appium 1.3 setup and all the prereqs required for the same. So in the previous session we already discussed about Appium 1.6 introduction and the architecture details and its comparison with 1.5 and 1.4. So now this session is all about the setup. So we'll discuss about how you can really set up 1.6.3 on your machine and start migrating all your scripts from 1.5 to 1.6. So let's get started with the setup process. So I've already populated all the prereqs and the installation modules that are required to successfully set up 1.6. As you can see, you need Node 4 and above, which we'll be installing in the installation modules in a couple of minutes, and you need Xcode 8 and above. So this is a mandatory prerequisite because Xcode 8 has this XUI test framework in it, and uautomation is removed as part of Xcode 8. So whenever you install Xcode 8 on your machine, your 1.5.3 Appium scripts or below scripts will not be compatible anymore, and you will not be able to run any of these scripts on any of the automation devices. So the migration is mandatory. Once you install Xcode 8, you have to migrate all your 1.5 scripts to 1.6. Okay, so make sure you have Xcode 8 on your machine, and GRE or JDK setup, which is required in case if you have developed your automation scripts in Java. You might need this. In my case, I need this, so this is one of the prereqs for me. So let's get on with the installation of the modules. Okay, so these are all the 8 to 9 modules that needs to be installed. So let's get started with the installation. So our first module was a node. Let's install. In case if you don't have brew on your machine, please go to brew.sh on your browser and just run the ruby command in order to install brew on your machine. So I have already installed brew. Okay, I'll get started with the installation of the modules. So you need to install node first. So Appium is actually based on Node.js. So this is mandatory module that needs to be installed. Okay, this node will also install npm, so package manager, which will be responsible for installing Appium and other modules like ios deploy on your machine. So we'll see how to use npm in couple of minutes. So let me clear this session. So we've installed node. Next we need to install ideviceinstaller. So ideviceinstaller is up running. So our next module is Appium, which is a core module which we need to install. So as you can see, I'm using npm, which was installed as part of node 4.1.2. So npm install -g appium. So this command will install the latest version out there. If you want to download a specific version, you can just put at 1.6.2 or 1 or 0 of your choice. I'll be installing the latest version, so let me go ahead and install Appium 1.6.3. This is going to take some time, around 2 to 3 minutes. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and check the Appium GUI version in order to verify our setup, whether it's complete or not. I already have set up a couple of things here. You need to have your app ID set, app path set here, any application under test, and the bundle ID of the app, and make sure this app is assigned with a debug profile. Okay, and you need to force the device to whatever the device you have. And the major change you need to make is this is the most important thing. If you see here, it has still 9.3, and the hack here is just go and change to 110.0. This is one of the capabilities that you are passing here, and the UDID you need to set of your device. Okay, and these are some of the things that you need to change here. Go to settings, and here by default this new command timeout is set. Just uncheck this and save it. So this will complete the Appium 1.5.3 GUI version setup in order to make it work with Appium 1.6 command line version. Okay, I'll explain you. I'll spin up an instance and I'll connect a device and I'll show you how to actually make use of this GUI version to capture your elements of the application under test. Okay, so let's check if Appium is still installing. Let's wait for it. As you can see, Appium installation is complete. So let's cross verify the version. It is 1.6.3. So we are done with the Appium installation. So our next module is WD. So you can use npm to install WD. Our next module is ios-webkit-proxy. This is what I was talking in the architecture session, where the proxy is actually responsible for communicating or proxying your commands from your Mac to the iOS device, which is basically the iProxy. So there are a couple of ports here that we talk about in the upcoming sessions, which is really important. I'll show you the logs, how things really work, how this proxy works. Okay, um, if you see WD is installed. WD, sorry, it's installed. Next is the WebKit proxy. So it looks like it was already installed. Just run this command. It'll automatically install iProxy. Next command is libimidevice. There is a reason why there is hyphen head. The reason is this is macOS Sierra, and and the Xcode version is 8.2.1, which is pretty much the latest version. So if you install brew install, if you run the command brew install libimobiledevice, so you'll be getting all the modules which might be compatible with 8.1 or iOS 10.0 device. So in order to get the latest version from Git, just make sure you use hyphen head and just try to install the libimobiledevice modules. It says it's already installed. I'm not sure. Let's uninstall it. Let's install it. If you see, it is actually checking out the project from Git and it's trying to build the project. Meanwhile, let's check the device connectivity. If we have the device, yeah, my iPhone is connected and we already have a test app. Okay, so libimobiledevice is installed now. So let's try to pair the device. If it's not paired, in your case, you can just give it a try. Could not validate. Okay, I've just unlocked my iPhone. Trust, clicked on trust. Let's try it one more time. Yep, so device is successfully paired now. Okay, you can do the same for your iOS 10 device. So let me check the ideviceinstaller version. Cool. Let's check libimobiledevice. Okay, so the next module is carthage. We need to install this. Next is iOS deploy. This is a very good a module which can be used to install or let's say deploy apps on your device. It's a pretty good module and which will ease the process of installation of apps on your device, getting the list of apps that are installed on the device. There are many things this app does. It's better to have this module installed on your Mac. So if you see carthage is installed, let's install iOS deploy 2. There you go. So it's installed. I simply see if there are a bunch of commands to do work with, and this module is very handy, especially when you build automation frameworks. Okay, so we are done with all the modules set up. Final thing is, let's try to verify if Appium is actually properly set up. So if it's properly set up, you'll start seeing welcome to Appium 1.6.3. There you go. Okay, the port is already running. So to resolve that, so if you see, there was already a Appium node which is running. Not sure, maybe I would have ran it. So let's kill it, kill the previous session. Sorry, I need to give the port number 57026. So let's try to run the command again. If you see, it's gone now. Let's try to run Appium one more time. There you go. So the Appium is up and running. So it has started at localhost 4723 port number. Okay, so next we'll discuss about how to use this Appium GUI version in order to connect to this console version. Okay, and try to capture elements on your application under test. So I have already connected my device. Okay, I've already connected my device, and the changes you need to make I've already explained. So you need to give your app path, that the application which is under test, and make sure this IPA is re-signed with your debug profile. Okay, and you need to give the bundle ID of the app. Okay, and you need to give the device. This is not a mandatory field. This is a very important field. You make sure to give 10.0 so that it, when you actually say inspector, this capabilities will be passed to the GUI version which is actually running here. And make sure you give the UDID right. Then you go here and change the new command timeout. Just uncheck this, so you'll be pretty much set. So you need not to launch anything here because there is an Appium version which is already running here. Okay, just click on this inspector. You should be good to go. If you see here, the Appium instance was running, and now the Xcode project will be built on your device. So there is an error here. So, and this error is all about your WebDriver agent runner project setup on your Xcode. So as I explained before in the previous session, this setup is mandatory and there are a lot of steps on how to do this. I'll explain this in detail in the next upcoming session. Thank you.